Hey there, everyone. Welcome back. Well, we were told, actually long before the election, we were told that Donald Trump would be an authoritarian. We actually saw authoritarian tendencies his first term, didn't we? We were told, he even said he wanted to be a dictator. He admires leaders like Kim Jong-un and Xi Jinping because they rule their people with an iron fist. Yeah, well, I tell you what, in a democratic society, in a free society, people don't need to be ruled with an iron fist. That's what we were never supposed to be. Yeah, ruled with an iron fist. Meanwhile, the NRA, hey, where you at? Where you at, NRA? You said, your whole thing has always been that the Second Amendment is there in case a tyrannical government ever arises. Well, it's arising now. It's here. Where are you, NRA? Where are you? Oh, yeah, that's right. You agree with him. You supported him. Right. Got it. What's funny, though, is think for a moment he won't take guns away from people. And when he does, the cold dead hands people are going to be the first ones to give them up. Yeah, cold dead hands. These big tough alpha males. Yeah. We have, military vehicles in the streets of Washington, D.C., the National Guard, making their presence known. I don't blame the individual soldiers, but, well, actually, to a certain extent I do, because y'all need to remember your oath. Remember your oath. All enemies, foreign and domestic. So remember your oath. I get it. Private Snuffy, you're pretty low ranking. You might be afraid of what comes your way. I get that. But I tell you what, those high-ranking officers know better. Those high-ranking NCOs know better. Yeah. But yeah, the National Guard to deal with crime that is an all-time high, which is not at an all-time high. It's at a 30-year low. Oh yeah, and by the way, why are the military vehicles, since they're there for law enforcement, why are they staged on the National Mall? Why are they on the National Mall? Explain that one to me. That's not where the crime is. I'm not saying there's no crime in D.C., and I'm not saying that the crime doesn't need to be improved and taken care of when it happens. I'm saying there's no need to federalize the police and call out the National Guard when crime is at a 30-year low and decreasing. That's all a power move. That's all that is. That's a weak man trying to look strong. That's what that is. Oh, yeah. And then you got Gavin Newsom out there in California giving a press conference, because Texas decided to gerrymander the hell out of their state mid-decade. Mid-decade. Let's just randomly redraw our districts. Yeah, but we're going to get rid of 5 Democrats. Or 5 seats that are currently held by Democrats. So make it more likely to pick up 5 Republican seats in the House. They don't like Jasmine Crockett, so they gotta draw the districts so that hers is gone. Well, Tell you what. Tell you what. You go ahead and gerrymander the hell out of your red states. Let me ask you this. If your positions are so popular, if people love the Republicans so much, why can't you win on ideas? Why do you have to go redrawing maps in the middle of the decade? If you're that popular. I mean, Texas is already red. It's a very red state. Actually, it's a very purple state, but it's more red than it is. They have enough Republicans in Texas that they keep winning, but they also have enough independents that, Democrats could pull off some upsets. But not if they gerrymander the hell out of the state, right? So, Gavin Newsom, he's talking about what he can do in California to counter what Texas did. And you have ICE outside of the venue where he gave that press conference. Yeah. That's not an intimidation technique, is it? You're not trying to shut him down. It's not like you didn't already call out, National Guards and the Marines in California earlier this year over a situation that, by the way, was already under control. It was under control, and it got worse when the National Guard got called up. It's almost like people don't like authoritarianism or something. So, yeah. I hope California does redraw their districts. I mean, there was a bill put forth in Congress. This has been a while, but there was a bill put forth in Congress to outlaw gerrymandering nationwide. Every single Republican voted no. Why? If your ideas are so good, why do you need gerrymandering? I mean, Wisconsin, right? Wisconsin has, I want to say, 8 congressional districts. It's a very 50-50 state when it comes to voter registration, right? They have 1 Democrat and 1 Republican United States Senator. They've got a Democrat governor. The last 3 elections were decided by a fraction of a point. I mean, you get just a handful of people who either stay home or vote the other way, the election goes the other way. That's how close Wisconsin is. But the Republicans have the majority in the state government. So, they've drawn up the congressional districts so that I think Democrats have 2 out of the 8. I'd have to double check that, but they definitely don't have more than 3, right? Pretty sure it's 6-2 is the congressional delegation in Wisconsin. In a very purple state. North Carolina, very similar. Very similar. But, when the people in charge, when politicians get to choose their voters instead of voters choosing their politicians, that's what happens, huh? You know what? I could draw up a map right now that would have me winning right here in the state of Iowa. if I got to draw the map. Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Republicans are the only ones who gerrymander. Have you ever seen Illinois? Illinois has some two districts in particular that are very egregiously drawn in favor of the Democrats. But, I mean, if you look at Louisiana, right, the district that Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, represents, wraps all the way around another district. Steve Scalise, same thing, except it goes the other direction, you know. They wrap around the two blue districts in the state. In Tennessee, Nashville got split up among districts, you know, so that the Memphis area would be the only blue seat. Yeah. So gerrymandering to steal elections because they've got no ideas, and the ideas they do have people don't like. You know, I mean, things that are popular, Republicans are not presenting. You know, but hey, we hate those people, so I guess that's as good a platform as any, isn't it? Huh? As long as you hate all the right people, you know, scare people about, you know, trans athletes or, you know, gay cheerleaders or whatever. Yeah. Women umpires. Anything to distract from those Epstein files, though, right? Can't show us what's in there. Yeah, we have the files. The files are on my desk. No, we don't have the files. The files don't exist. Well, yeah, the files exist, but it's all a hoax. The Democrats made the files. Sounds like somebody is afraid to let us see what is in the files. I wonder why. I wonder why. How many of those allegations are true? You know. But then again, when Trumpstein was on Fox News prior to the election with that interview, are you going to release the Kennedy files? Yeah. The 9/11 files? Yeah. The Epstein files? Yeah. Well, wait a minute. Maybe that one not so much. But you know what? The average Fox viewer didn't see that because they edit it. Edit that out, right? But yeah, sue them for shortening one of CBS because 60 Minutes shortened one of Kamala Harris's answers without changing what she was actually saying. But they shortened Trump's answer to completely eliminate well, I might not do that. Yeah, I'd release that. Well, no, well, maybe not that one because, you know, there might be some fake stuff in there that, you know, might hurt some people. Really. Really. I tell you what, he has threatened other cities, and if we're not careful and if we don't stand up, martial law is coming to a city near you. See you next time.